YTBC, what's the deal? So I'm on fightnews.com, and I'll leave this article in the description box. You click on it and read it. Now, we know that the IBF has put together some title eliminators, and we know one of them is Derek Chisora fighting KUBRAT Pulev, and that fight will be in Germany. On May 7th, it will be for that European heavyweight title, and also the IBF title eliminator, all right? Now, Derek Chisora goes on and says, Pulev has no idea how to fight, all right? Let me read a little bit of this. He says, I just got back from California where I had a fantastic training camp and perfect sparring partners. I look forward to this fight. I think I'm going to knock Pulev out, stated Chisora. I want to do some research, man. I'm going to come back and do probably another video to see exactly who Derek Chisora was fighting. I didn't know he was even in California getting sparring in. So I'm curious to see what gym he was at and who he sparred. If you heard of any of this, please leave it in my comment section. Then he goes on and says, Pulev was also protected. His opponents were crap. His fight record is ridiculous, and against Vladimir Klitschko, he was beaten up very badly. Pulev has no idea how to fight. I'm not worried. I'm telling you, he has boxed only shit opponents. The best of them was Tony Thompson. I've boxed Hay, Fury, and Vitaly Klitschko. On May 7th, he'll be surprised. This will not turn out well for him. And he also fought and he lost to Robert Helenius. A lot of people thought Chisora won that fight, but they gave the fight to Helenius. I thought Helenius probably edged it, but it was a close fight. All right. Yes, he's fought Hay, Klitschko, and those guys, but he lost to all of them. It's not like he's beaten those guys. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't necessarily say that all of Pulev opponents were, as you know, my man Derek Chisora stated, shit opponents. I don't think Ustinov and Dimitrenko and Thompson, I don't think those guys were shit opponents. They're beatable guys, but you know, how many fights have Ustinov's lost? I think he only lost to Pulev. Dimitrenko dropped a few fights, but and so did Thompson, but I don't think those are shit opponents. I think they're formidable guys. Some people may argue that some of Derek Chisora's, you know, past few previous opponents, although I know he's trying to just stay in shape and get in there with some journeyman level guys, but some people may say, hey, those guys are, you know, quote unquote shit opponents. So I understand what Chisora is saying. He's trying to say that, hey, I've been in there with the tougher guys, you know, Hay and Klitschko and things like that, but none of that's going to really matter on fight night. Both these guys have good experience. Pulev, a former, you know, he was Olympian. He has a good amateur background and pedigree. He has a damn good jab and a good right hand. I think Chisora's best bet is going to be trying to get Pulev on the inside and rough him up on the inside. That's one thing I noticed about Pulev. He really doesn't have an inside game, so to speak, as far as at the high level, you know, but he's just more susceptible just to clinch. You know, it's kind of funny in that fight with Klitschko, where he was getting hit with lead hooks and lead right hands, and Klitschko didn't clinch as much as he usually does in fights that I've seen. He actually threw his hands, and I think Chisora has a chance to win this fight if he throws his hands and he's not getting jabbed to death, because I've seen Pulev, was it Ustinov, I think it was the Ustinov. It was either Ustinov or Dimitrenko. I can't remember on top of my head, but he knocked one of those guys out with the jab, just made him quit. Maybe it was Ustinov. I can't remember. But you know, I'm not gonna say Tony Thompson was a shit opponent. I mean, or no, he said his only fight was against Thompson, but he laughed when he said Thompson. So curious to see, you know, what kind of shape Chisora is going to come in this fight. You know, hopefully he's around that 245-ish, something like that. But he say he's been in shape and he's been working. The fights in a few weeks here, so I guess we'll see. You know, all the talking to be over with, but his best bet is to try to win this fight by knockout, because if he thinks he's going to plot around the ring, you know, while he's getting jabbed and not doing much, he's going to lose this fight. And I don't care what country the fight's in, you know, he's going to have to get past that jab and try to bum rush Pulev and try to land some overhand rights and lefts and just put pressure on him. But I don't think he can stand at a distance and beat Pulev. I think Pulev jab is good enough, is powerful enough to keep Chisora at bay. Although sometimes Pulev does have a tendency to paw with the jab, but when he's really trying to flick it out there and, you know, hit you with it, lands, it's pretty thudding from what I see. It looks pretty thudding, but just getting this out there, man. That Derek Chisora just has some words to say about KUBRAT Pulev for their fight May 7th. YTBC, I'm out.